Good, everyone. Everybody doing okay?
Yes.
We can say good afternoon. It's okay. Everybody, good afternoon. All right. Good deal. It's Liberty County Elections Commission. About 4 minutes after 4 o'clock PM on March 14th, 2023. And we don't meet real regular, but we are here lately. Call this meeting to order and let the records show that Rick Brown's here, Cheryl Lawson, Michael Mark, Lee Chambers, and myself, members of the commission, are present. First item up is conflicts of interest. Notice to the Liberty County Elections Commission of the conflict of interest that may require the commission member to be excused or abstain from voting on a particular agenda item. Does anyone have a conflict of interest at this point in time to notify itself? Okay. Next item is rules for public comment. At our last meeting, we did set up parameters for public comment. We do allow this. This is a public meeting, so therefore we have public comment. But for the sake of expediency in most cases, at our last meeting, we set a 3-minute limit. What is the commission's pleasure at this time?
I move that we allow 3 minutes per speaker for public comment.
I'll second that, Judge.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to allow 3 minutes. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye. Likewise, nays. And that motion is unanimous.
Okay.
Okay. Next item, public comment. Comment on a specific agenda item will be allowed subject to limitations approved by the Liberty County Elections Commission members. And we do have 5 folks that have signed up to speak today. And I'll tell you what, let me just call your names and y'all ease on up here and visit with us. If you don't mind, please come kind of close because I'm hard of hearing in one ear. And I'm not really sure how good Michael Mark is in over there, but these other folks are younger than me, right? A little bit. No, they're not. Mr. Bush, Stephen Bush, you would please come up.
Looking for your eyeglass.
I'll get it out. Okay. Whenever you're ready, I'll flip her over.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Glenn is still considered innocent until proven guilty. He will be found innocent of these charges when it all comes to a close. I and a great deal of the community do believe that. If this board decides to terminate or suspend him without pay, then they will be seen as judging him guilty before it even gets to indictment, and that is wrong. Whoever wrote the meeting agenda up under item number 7, parts A and B, made the charges sound worse. They're still the same charges he's been under since the first board meeting, and nothing has changed since the first and second board meetings other than a non-crime bond violation. As far as number 7, part C, yes, he did violate a bond restriction by talking to someone. It is not considered a crime to violate bond conditions, though. He talked to someone. He is only in jail because Kane wants him there. The assistant DA was asking for double bond and no jail, but Kane said no, he is going to jail, and that Clint was a threat to himself and to society. Clint is not a threat to himself or to anyone else in society. He had a bad depression episode, and he was sent to a facility and was treated and released for it before the last bond hearing. Kane did not take that in consideration and sent Clint to jail, kind of like a double jeopardy for treatment of the depression episode. He violated a bond condition by talking to someone. That person is also Clint's personal attorney that has been representing in a petition suit that's been going on since 2018. There should be some kind of attorney-client privilege there. That person and their family has been and still is their best friends. Yeah, they got too close, but the families worked through it and are still great friends. That person is one of the ones who came to help Clint in a time of severe depression and was a medical emergency, but Kane and assistant DA did not take that in consideration. If you suspend Clint without pay or terminate him now, you'll be causing his wife, a 7-month-old baby, his almost 3-year-old daughter, and his 12-year-old daughter to suffer more. You will do that by ending his financial support for them. He cannot draw unemployment while in jail. You would cause Clint to violate another bond restriction. That is to support and provide for his family. Therefore, you would cause a financial downfall and more problems for Clint's family. I do know that there are those on this board that are against Clint personally, and you will be remembered in your next elections. Clint has already not done anything wrong, has really not done anything wrong, and will be seen innocent in the end, and should be able to retain his position and his income until all this mess is cleared up. So please keep him suspended with pay until then. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bush. Linda Weaver. Howdy, Ms. Weaver.
Hello,
How are you this afternoon?
I'm good.
Good. Okay.
I might be in trouble though.
No, ma'am.
I don't have anything written down.
That's okay.
That could be dangerous.
I don't write much myself.
I'm here for this family because I love them. I've known them for a long, long time. And I've worked with Clint and Shayla for many years, 15 years, maybe more. And there's a lot about the law I don't understand, and a lot about this procedure I don't understand. But I do understand Clint. I know Clint as well as, can be expected. I've worked with him through the church and through several committees and things like that, and as friends. And I've counseled with he and his wife and talked to them many years ago when they were a younger couple. And, I guess my heart, I'm a mom of with grown boys, and I like to shake them real good sometimes, but I can't. They're bigger than me now, so I can't do that. And I've got 5 grandchildren, and I'm single, I'm widowed, and it's hard, it's difficult financially. Those kids need their daddy. That's where my heart is. Not to mention his wife needs him as well, and his family. I can't even imagine what he has experienced in the public. This is a small town. I've lived here, went to school, graduated here. My family was here. I've been back here for 18 years, own a business here. And I can't even fathom what it must feel like to have people talking about you, especially when you believe you're innocent or you are innocent, and you have to, face people. I know Clint. I know he's a proud person. I know he's a hard worker, and I know he gets involved in a lot of things that that I think is remarkable. And as I said, I've known him for a long time. I've never known them to be anything but kind, honest, sincere, maybe hard-headed a little bit, but I just wanted to come in and put my 2 cents worth in.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Pastor Vaughn. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Judge. I wanted to speak on behalf of Clint Bush. We need an election administrator. Election's still going on. And there's some problems connected with that. Since the election administrator, Clint, he's kind of got me into working in the elections through the chain of thing. I used to work on the outside, pushing cards for candidates, as some of you know. I've been very involved in that, and still, matter of fact, I'm going back to the well one more time. This has really got me excited again. So I'm coming back with full force, God willing. And the thing of it is that we need an election administrator. We need somebody that can do the job, because that is pretty, you're talking about the integrity of the election. Clint was the best man for it. And because I was concerned about that. And matter of fact, now some of these others, just my grandson was, whatever you call it, with whatever's going on in this county right now, something is going on that's not right. When we talk about law, we're talking about a higher law. When we talk about a court, there's a higher court intervening in this county right now. And those people that are, quote, lawyers are going to have some problems when the higher court begins to judge, because that is coming. You can mark that down. That's coming. Matter of fact, I'm praying for that God works on this county. We've been here a long time at trying to find truth and righteousness in positions of authority. And we don't need people going on their own agenda, doing their own thing, going to make their own money. Well, now I'm a preacher. Why can I help? It's just the way it works. There is a higher law here. And when it comes to the election, as far as I can see, Clint's done absolutely nothing wrong. So what they need to do is get him out of jail, let him go to work. You can do that with the man's law versus God's law. All man can do is codify God's law. No man has authority to make a law. There's one lawgiver according to the best book, the precious book, the Word of God. So that law right now needs to go on in the elections, and we've got capable people, but now they're being doing away with. So you got another group you're going to bring in that's going to give us the integrity of the election. I got a big question mark about that. And when this election group changes, you can believe I'm going to be watching this. You can believe that. And because I'm not finished with the county, I ain't moving. I'm here. Been here. Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Kimberly Bush. Ms. Bush, come on up. Good afternoon. All right.
My name is Kim Bush, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak here today. I am Clint's mom, and I have been quiet and watching everything that has been said and done to my son. But now it's time for me to speak. Clint's father and I have raised him to be respectful, courteous, caring, and above all, honest. And he always has been. Does everyone like him? No, especially some elected officials in our county. Why? I'm not sure if it's because he goes above and beyond when asked to help with a situation involving one person or a whole community. Clint does wear many hats, and he's told me many times about different government officials in our county offices asking him for help and advice on things. And I would always ask him, why do they always call you? And he would say, because they know I will find the correct, legal, and right way to find the answer to a solution. We have listened to people that have attended the last 2 election board meetings, and we have heard from clergy, former employees, election judges, and workers and friends and family on Clint's work ethic and how fair he treats all people in making sure each election is ran with the utmost integrity. The charges against Clint stem from a disgruntled employee who has filed charges against Clint and the Housing Board, which have already been investigated and dismissed once. The Housing Organization Board and their lawyers approved all transactions made, not just Clint alone. This ex-employee has now filed a wrongful termination suit against the board and a personal suit against Clint alone for $500,000. This will all be addressed at another day, and the truth will come to light in the end. Our country's law states that a person is innocent until proven guilty. But by reading the agenda for today's meeting, number 7A and B, it says, probable cause to believe Clint Bush committed the offense of theft of property and abuse of official capacity. It says probable cause. It does not say found guilty. The grand jury is scheduled to meet March the 27th, and we are hoping his case will be presented to them at this time. I know by looking at the agenda that it seems this election board has already made a decision. According to 8 and 9 on the agenda, you are about to do just that. Clint's bond states he has to provide for his family financially. If you terminate Clint at this time, his wife and 3 children will be the ones who suffer without his income. I respectfully asked for suspension with pay until the grand jury meets. This case is not just being followed by the people in this room, but by people all over this county. My family and I are approached daily by people showing their support for Clint and are watching the actions being taken here today and in the future. Clint and Shayla's personal life is not the issue here, but it seems that is all some people are focusing on, not what this meeting is all about. Thank y'all.
Yes, thank you. Shayla? Please. Afternoon.
Thank you for the opportunity to address you all today. I am Clint's wife and would like to tell you a few stories. There was an elderly woman in the community whose hot water heater broke with no family around. My husband didn't know her, but he learned of her situation. So he arranged for both the purchase and the installation of the hot water heater for her. Another elderly woman requested a mail-in ballot. However, no matter how many times the elections office put her ballot in the mail with tracking, it kept getting lost in the mail. In Clint Bush fashion, he personally delivered the ballot to the woman so she would have time to get her vote in ahead of the deadline. An outgoing elected official and incoming elected official were arguing over moving offices. In fact, they were arguing over storage boxes. A county employee caught in the middle called my husband to help resolve the situation. His response, he arranged for one of the officials to take all of the storage boxes in the elections office so everyone would be happy and have their own storage boxes. Let's not forget about Dayton Lake Estates. My husband helped those people recognize that they were being taken advantage of and gave them a roadmap to help their community. None of this is under my husband's job description as elections administrator. But as all of you know, in county government, he often gets called on to resolve disputes and help people that is not under anyone else's jurisdiction. He's adept at piecing together all types of community assistance, mainly because of so many public hats that he wears, to do all the good he can in all the places he can, all the times he can. It is unfortunate that the circumstances of the last 90 days are robbing this county of a solid public servant. He answers his phone at all hours of the day and night. He takes on problems that are not his own simply because he can do something about it, and he always will. Even in jail, he is making the place better. He already got the AC fixed for the inmates by circulating a petition and referring to the inmate handbook. He obtained a job as the librarian and is seeking donations to help the inmates. He is leading a nightly Bible study and is helping to dissolve little issues before they become a big problem. Because this is the kind of man Clint is. Someone always willing to serve others, even in the depths of his deepest despair. By terminating him from county employment tonight, this is what the county is losing. Thank you.
Thank you. All righty. Next item up is the executive session. We need a motion to move an executive session this time.
I think we go in executive session.
I second that, Judge.
All right. Yeah, motion from Rick Brown, second from Michael Mark. All in favor, say aye. Likewise, no, that motion does carry. It is now 4:22 p.m. And we will now move an executive session. Okay.
Y'all know.
Now, 6:29. We're back out of executive session and back into regular session. On item number 6, reinstatement or continued suspension of election administrator. Discuss, consider, and approve either the reinstatement or continued suspension with or without pay or the termination of the employment of Clint Bush as the Liberty County Elections Administrator. Is there a motion?
Are we, the way it's written, are we supposed to make a motion against?
Yeah, so you can, 6 and 7 are kind of in the alternative if y'all, if you wanted to take action on 6, you could avoid 7. If you want to take action on 7, you could avoid 6. So it could either be tabled or the, expelled for lack of a motion.
We'll give number 6 some time on a motion. Should I? Yes, ma'am. About 2 minutes. Okay, not hearing a motion on number 6, that dies for lack of motion. Number 7, termination of elections administrator contingent upon majority vote against the reinstatement of or the suspension with or without pay in Flint Bush. Neither form discuss, consider, and approve the termination of Flint Bush as the Liberty County elections administrator effective immediately for good and sufficient cause. Of course, there's items A to B that are inclusive. And C. Is there a motion from the commission? Give it another minute. Not hearing a motion or a second from the commission on item number 7, that dies for a lack of a motion or second. Number 8 really is irrelevant. Or is it?
Yeah, I don't see if there's been a vacancy, a need to appoint a temporary election administrator.
So 8 would be moved
Right. And as well as 9.
and 9 would be moved.
Right. Okay. All right. Number 10.
I'll move for that one.
I will second that.
Got a motion from Liddy, second from Mike to adjourn. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays.